Hey you guys, it's Peter and Boo Radley, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And Boo Radley said, that Pee-Pee always gets to be in all the videos, so I want to be in the video today because it's about Christmas, and I love Christmas videos. Look at him, he's so sweet, isn't he? He just got booked in for his groom today. He's so excited. Oh no, he said, I don't need to be groomed. He said, I'm just fine. He does not like to get groomed, so anyway. Isn't that so sweet? This is how he sleeps every night. Okay, so Boo Radley, you go over here and sit down. Now he'll go up on this chair over here, and then he'll hop over here because Tucker is right down here, so he'll want to be next to his brother. Okay, today we are going to talk about holiday books. We're going to talk about holiday books that I have picked to read this year, holiday books that I picked to read last year, and we're also going to talk about a possible giveaway that I'm going to do. I'm almost positive I'm going to do it. I was going to do it and announce it in this video. The lighting is so bad on this. I'm sorry, you guys. It is like pitch black outside, and it is like going in and out. So I have every light in the house on except for the kitchen because it doesn't matter. So anyway, but I'm thinking about doing a giveaway, and I was going to do it today. But I'm thinking about actually now doing it at the end of the year, so I'll explain in just a second. Let me get my coffee over here. You need to have coffee while you do a booktube video. All right, so what I'm going to talk about first is some of the holiday books that I read last year, and some recommendations that I have, and some recommendations of books not to read, okay? Except for if you like certain kinds of books. And then I'm going to talk about the books that I'm reading this year. Now, before I get into this, I want to say, and I actually just bought it on Audible 2 seconds before I came over here. I bought 3 books, and we're going to talk about those in a second. But for Peter's Book Club, which is the book club I started, I don't know, last spring sometime, the book for December, and tomorrow there will be a huge announcement about Peter's Book Club. So you're going to want to come back to my channel tomorrow and hear the huge announcement. I'm really excited about it. So anyway, but it's been going on for a while, but this month we have decided that the book that we're reading for the month of December is David Sedaris' Holidays on Ice. It's a very, very short, it's a collection of short stories, essays, so to speak. And you can get it on Audible. It's 4 hours on Audible, roughly. And I just got it on Audible. And but you could also read it. It's very, very short. So, so that is the book that we are reading for Peter's Book Club for the month of December. The live stream will be the last Sunday of the month, which is the 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will remind you guys later so we get closer to that and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's talk about some of the books. I have my other 2 Audible purchases over here. Let's talk about some of the other books, or some of the books that I read last year. Now, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but I read Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot's Christmas. I know I'm pronouncing it horribly. It was really, really good, and I can't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 or something like that. But if you want to read a mystery around Christmas time, it is a fantastic mystery, and it takes place out in the countryside at this estate. It's really, really good. And so, like last year, and I think the year before as well, but really last year, I really focused a lot of attention on wanting to read like all holiday books for the month of December, and that's what I'm trying to do now to get in the Christmas spirit. I celebrate Christmas. I don't know if you do. This is really mostly about Christmas kind of books. But I really wanted to celebrate Christmas as fully as I possibly could by listening to music every day. I have been listening to Christmas music every day since before Thanksgiving, okay? I've been listening to, I think it's channel 70 on Sirius Radio every day. I know every song. So anyway, even the Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani song that they won't stop playing. But anyway, so last year I really focused a lot of attention on it. And so I wanted to talk about a couple of the books that I read last year. One of them was Wishin' and Hopin' by Wally Lamb. Earlier this year, we read, oh shoot, what is it called? Why can I not remember it? I can remember the girl's name. She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb for the book club. And so many people really enjoyed it. It's very much the same kind of colloquial storytelling. If you like Wally Lamb, you'll love this book. Let me read the back of it to you. In Wally Lamb's pitch-perfect new novel, it is 1964, LBJ and Lady Bird are in the White House, Meet the Beatles is on everyone's turntable, and 10-year-old Felix Funicello, distant cousin of the iconic Annette Funicello, is doing his best to navigate 5th grade. Easier said than done when scary movies still give you nightmares, and you bear a striking resemblance to a certain adorable cartoon boy. But there are several things young Felix can depend on. The birds and the bees are puzzling, television is magical, and this is one Christmas he's never going to forget. This book, you guys, is so good. I loved it. I think I actually gave this a 5-star. And just the weaving, it is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious, and I probably did a review on my channel, so if I can find it, I'll put a review up of some of these below. But anyway, so I loved this book so much, okay? So that was one of the books that I read last year. And then I think this was last year, I'm almost positive, the price tag is still on it. And that is The Mistletoe Secret by Richard Paul Evans. I'm not a huge lover of his books, but this book, I don't know why, like, it took me, I think maybe I even finished it after Christmas. It took me a really long time to get into. I'm almost positive I finished it after Christmas. It took me a really long time to get into, but I loved the story of it. Here it is. Thinking no one is, oh, Dear Universe, is anyone out there? Thinking no one is reading, a blogger who calls herself LBH writes about her most personal feelings, especially her overwhelming loneliness. Every day she shows a brave face to the world, while inside she longs to know how it would feel if one person cared about her. Alex Bartlett cares. He's reading her post in Daytona Beach, Florida, nursing his own broken heart and trust issues. He finds himself falling for the sensitive, vulnerable woman whose feelings mirror his own. Following the trail of clues LBH has inadvertently laid, he discovers that she lives in the small town of Midway, Utah. He makes his way there just after Thanksgiving, determined to find LBH. Maybe she's a Lisa, or a Lori, or a Luann. Instead, he finds a woman named Aria, a waitress at the Mistletoe Diner, who encourages Alex in his search while serving him pie and some much-needed sympathy and companionship. Alex finds his LBH, a woman who is as beautiful and kind as he imagined she would be. How can he tell her that he knows her secret? What's holding him back? Could it be his feelings for Aria? Okay, so this book, although I thought it would be incredibly cheesy, it's kind of not really cheesy. And the things that are cheesy about it are like, he stays in this inn in the town, and it's very like German, and it's all decorated for Christmas. But like when you're reading it, it's so cozy, and he's like in this room that's like named like a certain, you guys, it's good. So it's like actually a really, really good one, The Mistletoe Secret. It was $14.99 at Costco, not at Meijer. So that was the other book I read last year. I read so many, and I'm uploading a video on my phone right now where I would pull it up on Goodreads and look and see what I read. But I also read The Christmas Train by David Baldacci, which I had actually read before, but I never listened to it on Audible. If you're looking for a holiday Audible version, it is fantastic. They even have like music that goes in and out of it at times and stuff like that when the train, it's about a train. And it's about all these people that are going from the East Coast to the West Coast, and this blizzard avalanche occurs. It's really, really good, you guys. It's probably one of my favorite Christmas reads I've ever read. And of course, The Christmas Carol. And here's my issue of The Christmas Carol. I read The Christmas Carol every year, like Christmas Eve. This year, and I watch all the different versions of The Christmas Carol. My favorite one, actually, this is so strange. My favorite used to be the George C. Scott one, but now it's the Jim Carrey, like Pixar one. Like, I love that one. I have had this one. I can't even tell you this book, how long I've had it. And I said in my vlog the other day that I really want to get a new edition, like a nicer edition of it, because it is something I read every year. And although it's cheesy, I love the story of A Christmas Carol. I also love Truman Capote's A Christmas Memory. It's probably one of my favorite Christmas books or Christmas stories of life. If you've never read it, it's fantastic. And what was the other one that I was thinking of that I wanted to talk about? Well, it'll come to me in just a second. So anyway, okay, one other book that I have read previously that I loved, and I've talked about him a lot on here, and nobody really ever comments on him when I talk about him, but one of my probably top 3 authors of life, I would say, is Stuart Onan. And everything he writes is so completely different. And I found him through a book called Speed Queen that actually somebody sent me this year because I didn't have a copy of it and I couldn't find one. And he's friends with Stephen King, but his writing is really nothing like Stephen King. And he's just absolutely a fantastic writer. I mean, he creates characters like nobody's business, and I mean, really deep characters. So if you're more character driven than plot driven, you're somebody that would really love Stuart Onan. I've read him for years and years and years. I've literally read almost everything by him except for 2 books. And so a couple years ago, there was one of his books that I hadn't read, and that was Last Night at the Lobster. And it's very short, and it's like, let me see, it's like 146 pages. I don't remember when I read it. I don't even remember if it was around the holiday season, but I remember that I read it literally like a night and a half. And it's very sad. I will tell you that. It's very depressing. But it's fantastic, and it is such a quick read. Let me read the back of it to you. Perched in the far corner of a rundown New England mall, the Red Lobster hasn't been making its numbers, and headquarters has pulled the plug. But manager Manny DeLeon still needs to navigate a tricky last shift. Just 4 days before Christmas and in the midst of a fierce blizzard. With a near mutinous staff and the final onslaught of hungry retirees, lunatics, and holiday office parties, all the while he's wondering how to handle the waitress he's still in love with, his pregnant girlfriend, and where to find the present that will make everything better. Stuart Onan has been called the bard of the working class, and Last Night at the Lobster is a poignant yet redemptive book at what a man does when he discovers that his best just might not be good enough. This book, you guys, is so fantastic. It's one of my favorite books of life. So, okay. Now, I was sitting here, and as I was reading that, I was thinking about another book that I had read. Now I can't remember what it was. Well, I read Debbie Macomber, Dashing Through the Snow. I have to say, like, I'm not a huge Debbie Macomber fan, and I know I'm mispronouncing her name. Somebody said it was like Cucumber, Debbie Macomber, I don't know. But anyway, she puts out Christmas books, like, constantly, right? I mean, she just, like, writes them, puts them out, right? I mean, she's, like, basically the James Patterson of Christmas books. But I know people love her books, and I read Dashing Through the Snow a couple years ago. It was so hard for me to get through, but I was like, I bought this book, so I'm gonna read it. And it was about this girl, and she like she was trying to get to this town or something, I don't know, and like this guy like got a ride with her, and he was like an FBI agent or something, and he thought she was like a fugitive on the run, and like she was trying to go get to her mom. It was so bad. It just was so bad. I think maybe if I had read it a lot quicker, I wouldn't have disliked it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might be willing to try another one of her books. So if there's a Debbie Macomber Christmas book that you really, really liked, let me know. I also am going to try to maybe read another Richard Paul Evans. I think this is actually, and I've read The Christmas Box. Oh, yes. Okay, that's the one they made the movie out of. The Christmas Box was depressing. The book was depressing, and I thought the movie was kind of spooky. I didn't like the movie at all. Did you guys like it? I didn't like that movie at all. Okay. So, but The Mistletoe Secret, I think this might be the first one in the series. I'm not really sure. Mistletoe Promise and The Mistletoe End. So I mean, I really liked this series, so I might read another 2 out of that. But the box ones I didn't love. I just didn't, I don't know. So anyway, okay. So yeah, so those are, I'm gonna go through all this. So those are the ones that I have read in the past. If I remember like a couple others, I feel like there are others that I read last year and I just don't remember what they are. So let's talk about what I'm gonna read this year, okay? And it's already, you know, what is it, December 7th? So it's not like that I am going to be able, is it December 6th or December 7th? I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to read a whole bunch this month already because I've already started and I'm almost done with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire so I can start my audiobooks. But I did buy, like I said, David Sedaris' Holidays on Ice. I'm probably going to actually read that after Christmas, so last week, before we do the live stream, because I want it to be fresh in my head. But I also bought, I found this on my bookshelf, and I didn't even know we had it. This is my husband's favorite author of life, and that is Augustin Burroughs. And it's You Better Not Cry, Stories for Christmas. I read, I think, like 3 of his books, and my husband loves them. He's read everything by him. And Dry is both our favorites, and I can remember our very first date, we talked about the book Dry, because he was asking me a lot of, because I've been sober since I was 22 years old. My sobriety birthday is coming up. It's December 17th. I'll have been sober for 24 years, if we don't borrow time. So if I make it to the 17th of December, I will have had 24 years sober. But anyway, we talked a lot about the book Dry, and it was like part of what we talked about on our first date because he loved that book, and he was like, how accurate? And I was like, it is like 100% accurate of how it was. So anyway, I'm gonna read Augustin Burroughs' You Better Not Cry this year, and I actually just bought it on Audible. So I'm really excited about that. And then the next book that I'm going to read this is one of my favorite movies, Christmas movies, and I have no idea who sent this to me. Thank you, whoever you are. I am so sorry I forget who you were, but I showed it way back when it was sent to me, and it is The Box of Delights by John Masefield, and it is also called Or When the Wolves Were Running. And if you've never seen the movie, The Box of Delights, it's a BBC special that they put on like years, like in the 80s, and you can watch the whole thing. I think the whole thing is on YouTube, and I love it. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies ever. It's very kind of like fantasy meets Christmas. It's fantastic. So if you like fantasy, you'll like the movie. But anyway, I've never read the book. This book, I feel like, is so beautiful. Do you guys see it? There's like glitter on the, I mean, it is, look at that. It's beautiful. So I'm putting together a little bit of a giveaway, but I will tell you, this book will not be in the giveaway because I love this book so much. Okay. And I'm going to put that over here. And then the next book that I'm going to be reading is Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Was Maureen Johnson who wrote Truly Devious? Maureen, can you put out part 2? I'm ready. And don't tell me if it's already out, I'm going to lose it because I'm so ready for part 2 of Truly Devious. That was Maureen Johnson, wasn't it? So if you haven't read this book, it's 3 short stories. An ill-timed storm on Christmas Eve busies the residents of Gracetown under multiple feet of snow and causes quite a bit of chaos. One brave soul ventures out into the storm from her stranded train and sets off a chain of events that will change quite a few lives. Over the next 3 days, one girl takes a risky shortcut with an adorable stranger. 3 friends set out to win a race to the Waffle House, and the hash brown spoils, and the fate of a teacup pig falls into the hands of a lovesick barista. A trio of today's best-selling authors, John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle, bring all the magic of the holidays to life in 3 hilarious and charming interconnected tales of love, romance, and kisses that will steal your breath away. So I guess it's not 3 different stories, it's like intertwined, but I've had this book out to read for like several years and I haven't read it, I think the last 2 years, so I'm reading it this year and I'm really excited about it. Okay, is that everything that I wanted to read this year and announce? So I'm reading this, David Sedaris. Where's my other books? Oh, Box of Delights. Shoot. Okay, so I also bought on Audible, per the suggestion of somebody from my vlog, The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand, which is kind of like a retelling of like A Christmas Carol, but I think it's YA. So I'm really excited about that because I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know anything about that whatsoever. Somebody recommended it to me and said it's a quick read and you'll like it, but I got it on Audible. So I'm really excited about that. But I don't know what else to get. So there was one other book that I was looking up on Audible and I couldn't find it that somebody recommended to me. If you guys have books, holiday book suggestions, will you leave it in the comment section below? Because I'm always looking for new books to read for the holidays. So now let me tell you a little bit about the giveaway, okay? It's not the most exciting giveaway in the entire world, and this giveaway is going to happen after, it's probably going to be like a New Year's giveaway, okay? What I'm going to do is, I'm going to look through all the books that I've bought this year, or all the books I've read this year, let's say. And, for example, these are two that will be in this. Graveyard Shakes and Small Spaces, okay? I am currently cleaning out all of the books in my basement per my husband's request. Because I have like so many, I currently have 6 boxes of books to go to Half Price Books, and I probably have 15 or 20 more boxes to go through of me and my mother's books, okay? So I'm getting rid of a lot of these books. Well, some of my brand new books are books that are like rarely, like this one's used, but really not that bad. I mean, you know, it's still pretty nice. So, I mean, there's some dog ears in it and stuff like that. But these books, once I finish them, now, okay, Last Night at the Lobster, I'm not giving that away because that's one of my favorites. But these books right here, and any other holiday books that I buy, or any other books that I have bought in 2018 that I love that I don't want here anymore, I am going to give them away at the end of the year, plus probably a little bit of a gift certificate to like a bookish kind of place. So I'm going to do that giveaway, I think around the new year. I think that would be fun. But I wanted to go through, and I thought this is a good way for me to get rid of some of these books. I mean, like literally, like this book is like brand new. I bought it at Half Price Books, and it's like perfect, you know? And so was Graveyard Shakes. And I was going to give this to my nephew, and my sister-in-law was like, I showed it to her, and she was like, I think it's a little bit old for him still. So I was like, okay. But I mean, he's 6, but anyway. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Would you like that giveaway? And then I'm going to throw something nice in there too, like a gift card, so you guys can pick out something that you want. But you know, instead of me just giving these books to Half Price Books or whatever, I'd rather give them to people that could enjoy them, that maybe don't have the money to buy them. I know there's a lot of people that use the library and things like that. So and I'm going to go through some of my other books that I've had that I've read the last couple years that I don't really need anymore, you know? And instead of just filling up my bookshelves and whatever, I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. Maybe I'll have like a first and second, you know, maybe there'll be 2 winners, I don't know. But just something, you know, to give back and, you know, I don't know, recycle some of these things. So anyway, what do you guys think about that? Let me know. And put it in the comment section below. And could you please, make sure I don't have any other books around me. Could you please give me some suggestions for holiday books? Anything, okay? But I would love something that was kind of like a mystery. I also haven't read a lot of like YA holiday books, so if you know anything about that, that would be great. I did read already the Stephanie Perkins, oh, this is a great suggestion, My True Love Gave to Me, that is a great anthology for holidays, okay? I loved that so much. I read that I think 2 years ago. It was really, really good. And I think that was it the Rainbow Rowell? Is she the one that wrote this story? I think her story was my favorite in there. But anyway, it's really, really good. And I loved it much better than Summer Days and Summer Nights. So let me know what books I should read. Put it in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.